So this is the wrap up the month podcast where we kind of close the month with what we've been doing the past month. It's the simplest way I can put it. So
That was repetitive.
I got I got my man Harvey here. We've collabed a lot, and this dude is a live wire, but I love him to death. So, and he's just so annoying.
That's probably the best way of describing it.
But he's so good that I keep him around.
Yeah.
No.
Only because of my voice. If I didn't have it, I wouldn't be here.
No, Harvey, I'd find another job for you if you suck.
Oh, yeah. I could rake leaves. I'll rake some leaves.
Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about was your new country single and how that's going. How's it going, Harvey?
It's going good. It's the first country single I've ever put out. I was raised country, I'm in Texas. So I was raised hunting and fishing and doing things, and going places. I traveled the world with my parents, and I'm just a country boy at heart. You know what I mean? I got my blues just like everyone else does, but I just, I'm getting back to my roots. That's all it is, And I wrote that song in rehab, actually, for my daughter, like a letter to my daughter. And I was in the shower when I came up with it, and I jumped out and I ran out naked. And my roommate in rehab was like, "Oh, dude," and I was like, "I gotta write this down." And he was like, "Bro, get on some underwear." And I was like, "No," I was like, "I'm gonna write it down." I was standing there butt ass naked in the room just writing this song, and I know that sounds weird, but I just came up with it, and I was like, "Oh, I can't lose this one." You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't want to lose this one, so I jumped out the shower, soap on me and shit, and excuse my language, and I just, wrote it right there. He was like, "I'm going." I was like, "All right, cool." Leave me alone. And I wrote that song in 10 minutes, dude, or less.
Yeah, I've had those where you just got to get it down. You have it in your head. You just need to get it out of you.
Yeah, I was just thinking about my little girl, dude, and, because when I was in rehab, that she's all I thought about, you know what I mean? Because, she was the only kid I had in rehab, obviously, but my other kids, aren't that old. She's 14, my little girl, but I wrote it when she was 5, and that's when I was in rehab, and it's just it's real close to my heart, so
Yeah. So
it's doing real well, though. It's doing real well on YouTube. It's honestly, out of all my music, it's gotten the most attention at the quickest time, in the quickest amount of time. And I think that's saying something,
Yeah.
And it's funny too, because my family been telling me my whole life, you should go country,
Yeah.
Don't just do rap, don't just do rock stuff, don't just do this, do country too, You were raised country. And I was just like, I know. People kept telling me, and I'm like, I know, and I never did it, Finally did it,
Well, what I've noticed is a lot of people don't realize how much more, we rap and we have those R&B songs where you sing on it, and people don't realize how much more expensive it is to do country as far as the production side of it.
Well, it's not just production, it's orchestrating, dude. You have to orchestrate this entire sound, because it's not jumping on and putting a beat to a hi-hat to a drum or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. I have to get a fiddle, I have to get a bass guitar, I have to get a guitarist, I have to get a drummer, I have to get a pianist, I have to get a cellist, you know what I mean? And all of these people have to collab, and Mike, he's just so good at what he does. He does it all from the comfort of his home. He sends it out, and the guitarist sends back their guitar solo, and he sends it out, and the drummer sends back their drummer, their drum solo, and then it just all came together, dude. He's amazing at what he does.
Yeah,
Mike Silva is awesome at what he does. So he was amazing in orchestrating it, and it's expensive though, dude. You know, the guy that did the lead guitar did, you know, worked with Dierks Bentley, you know. So these aren't just average people that are playing on these instruments. That's why the music quality was so good with it, you know, because it was professional, 100%, you know.
I don't know what it is, but every time we work with Mike, it's like everything he touches turns to gold. He's
Dude,
just,
it's because he knows what he's doing. He feels, he's such a cool guy too. It's like he knows other music. He doesn't just, he's a scholar, dude. He learned this, you know. He went to school for this, just like you're doing, you know.
Yeah.
And he knows his stuff. He plays so many instruments. There's been times when we go in there with a song and he's like, oh, you know what would sound good on this? Some piano. And he gets up and he's like, and then puts it on the beat, and it's like, oh, it blows our mind. Like, how did you hear that? You know, that's so awesome. It was perfect. You know, he just knows what he's doing, you know? And even when it comes to my singing, cause I was never taught how to sing. I sing off of, you know, my ears, off of what I feel, dog. I've never been actually trained or nothing. I honestly don't know how to hit a C, D, E, or F. If someone told me hit that, you know, I mean, I know, and I'm not there yet, you know, whatever. But, you know, he can sit there and talk to me in a language that I understand, and I can just roll with it, dude. And he's good, and he knows how to play off my sound, you know, and he knows how to, because I've been working with him for a while with, you know, with different things, and so Mike knows me, you know what I mean, and he's good. He's good at what he does. He's a real personal dude, you know, and he's awesome. He's a genius at his craft, dude, you know. So
I also wanted to bring up how we met and how it just kind of came about like that. So I don't know, you started because you were doing this stuff way before I had a thought about doing it. So
well, when you were a kid, I'd be in your brother's studio doing Fortune Flip with Travis Morse and Zach Burton, you know, and you were just a little tight, you know. You were just a little old boy. And,
I probably walked in once and then saw y'all before I I was writing these stupid ass songs like a little kid would.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's how it starts, dude, you know? That's how it always starts.
But I knew of y'all from Paul talking about y'all. So I knew when I came across your Facebook page, I was like, okay, and I'm branching out. I know I'm getting better. I want to collaborate with other people. So let's hit up these guys. So I tell Paul, and I messaged you, you messaged back. I don't think you had any idea who I was. And
oh no, I didn't. And the funny part is it was probably like a week or two before I put together, it might have been longer than that, if I'm not mistaken, that I actually put it together. I was like, Caleb Ash, oh, that's Paul Nasty's brother. And I remember you saying something to me. You're like, I'm Paul's brother. And I was like, oh, duh. Like,
yeah,
that's how, you know.
This was after I had been like working on music with him at his house. And I'm like, so you don't know who I am, right? And he was, I talked to you on Facebook. I was like, no, I'm Paul's brother. You know, we went to Bunkhouse Studios or whatever. And he's like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, you didn't know that.
Funny how things work, you know.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And you know what's funny is out of it, it's brought me and your brother closer together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, you know what I mean? Because we talk to each other every now and then, but I think I talk to your brother more now than we have ever. You know what I mean? Yeah. We make it a point to call each other at least like once a month. You know what I mean? And get touch base and talk about his PlayStation needs and and you know everything else. Paul's such a good dude.
Yeah, I actually when we've met, this was after I went to your house when we worked on music. And I think we wrote, or I had already written Pain, And then you were like, yeah, I can jump on that. I can sing that. And then we went over it and then probably wrote to another song. But I came
Like
back.
we had already established and started music
Yeah,
together.
yeah. We said, well, we
The
took it right away. I
relationship.
was like, how many
I
songs
know.
did you write? You were like, just give me what you got. I gave you everything. I had like 30
Yeah,
beats saved up. And
yeah.
so but what happened when I came back home, I went to my parents' house and my brother was there, and I was I was like, yeah, I gotta go meet this guy. He was like, who is it? I was like, oh, you know him, maybe Harvey from Fortune Flip. He was like, what?
No shit. You're
like,
betting with Harvey. Yeah, that's funny, right? How the world works. And the funny part is like, you know, Paul would tell me, he's like, you were my favorite. You know, and I'm like, I know I was your favorite because I'm the coolest one. But I'll tell you what, dude, it's awesome being able to reconnect now, you know, you know, before it was I was on another. I'll tell you what, back then when I did that with Fortune Flip, I was a much different person. You know what I mean? We'd be coming to the studio real messed up, you know, and or at least I would be. I was real messed up, you know. I was a severe drug addict, you know what I mean? So it's like, by the grace of God, you know, he took me out of that life. But man, dude, so it's like talking to Paul now, you know, it's totally different because it's like I'm finally actually getting to know who he is, you know what I mean? And I feel like our friendship has definitely grown more out of this, and I love that. That's cool. You know what I mean? I'm all about growth.
So you brought up a couple times clean, like getting clean. How long have you been clean?
I haven't drank alcohol or smoked drugs or done dope or nothing, dude, in 9 months. Well, it'll be 9 on the 1st.
That's good, man.
9 months, dog.
That's good.
You know, I always, I mean, when it comes to, you know, sobriety, I kept drinking. I never stopped drinking. I do dope and stop smoking weed and think that was okay. Like, as long as I'm not doing that, I can drink. Drinking's, you know, it's legal. Oh, give me a break. And it wasn't until I fully let go, dude, you know, fully gave in. I stopped drinking, and I just, you know, I'm telling you, dude, God saved me. He took me out of it. I don't have any desire anymore, you know, to do any of that. I'm not, I don't feel any certain type of way. You know, I'm glad I went through it because it's helped me turn into the man I'm going to be. You know what I mean? I've now been through something that I can say, you know, that I can honestly say the Lord got me through. And the thing about it is now, you know, now I get to help others, you know, and I love helping people, dude. That's my thing, you know, like I love to help people. You know, I'll spend my last dime on you if I have to, but it's helping me, you know what I mean? It's helping me with just spreading the word for one, and just getting myself back, you know, getting my ministry started up. You know what I mean? When it comes to the Lord, I can help these drug addicts and whatnot, you know, and it's and these people struggling, you know, no matter what, I can guarantee you we've gone through a lot of the same stuff. You know what I mean? And I can definitely tell people my experience and what helped me, and you know, glory to the Most High and all that. But you know what I'm saying? So I love it, dude. I mean, my past is my past, you know, and it's helped make me what I am today. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I can say that there's things I regret, but as a whole, I don't regret it because I wouldn't be where I'm at unless I went through that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To go back, I'd do it the same, you know?
Yeah. I see you, like, man, going to church, taking, you know, cursing out of your songs, getting fit. And I'm just like, this dude has to stop. He's making me look terrible.
No, it's not about that, dude. It's about living a clean lifestyle, dude. It's about living for Jesus for me now, you know? I mean, dude, I'm a changed man. I'm a different person than I was 9 months ago. I'm a different man than I was 3 months ago.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just constantly trying to grow right now. 100% in Jesus' name. You know what I'm saying? And I just got to keep going and glorifying the Lord and doing what I'm doing, because everything good that's happened, that's starting to happen for me is all because of the grace of God. There's nothing else that can explain the thing. My friend Jason Muniz, I had already stopped doing dope and smoking weed, like usual, and he was like, "What's stopping you from drinking or stopping drinking? Why haven't you stopped fully?" And I was like, "I don't know, it's whatever. I just drink, like what's not a big deal." And he's like, "Well, why don't you stop?" He's like, "I'm gonna pray over you tonight, and we'll just see, you never know." And I used to carry around a little flask with me because I was always sipping on whiskey, dude.
Yeah.
And he prayed. He got anointing oil and he did the sign of the cross and he prayed over me. He had all this oil on his hand, dude, and he put it all in my hair. He rubbed it all over me, dude. All oil all over my head, dude. And he prayed over me with such, with such passion and such sincerity, dude. It was just amazing. And at the end of it, I opened my eyes and it was gone. I didn't have another sip since that moment. I gave him my flask and got rid of it,
Because when I was coming over, I was like, you would tell me you got clean. I was like, cool, yeah, that's good for you. And then you'd be like, "You want a beer?" I'm like, "Are we supposed to be doing this? Am I assisting?"
Or I'd be drinking whiskey,
Yeah. I was like,
I mean, honestly, dude, a lot of the times from before I was fucked up. Excuse my language. I was messed up, I was, look, it's a constant battle. You know what I mean? But yeah, back then it was just another me, you know what I mean? I'd be hyped up and whatnot because I was lit up, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I feel so much better now. My parents are happy. They tell me, "Oh, we finally got our son back." It's been so long. They've been waiting 15 years for this, dude. And it's like, I can't give that up. You know what I mean? I can't give up the look in my children's eyes now when they look at me and they see me sober and they see me happy and talking about God. They respect me. They have so much love and there's so much love right now, dude. I couldn't ruin that. I couldn't go back to that. You know what I mean? I couldn't go back to what it was. It was such darkness, dude, and just surrounded by demons constantly. You know what I mean? And that type of negativity and that type of living that type of life, dude, is no way to live. It's just anxiety, depression, insomnia, just so many things, paranoia to the max, and it's no way to live, dude. It took a lot, dude, to come out of that, but I'll tell you, meth is a tough drug, dude. It took me a long time to actually quit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it took so many times. I went to rehab 2 times inpatient. I went to outpatient probably 4 or 5 times. You know what I mean? I went so many. And the crazy part is until I gave it to God 100%, that I didn't ever quit. Dude. I was always smoking. I was always drinking something. You know what I mean? And as soon as I gave it to God, as soon as I started getting into fellowship, as soon as I started going to Bible study, as soon as I started learning scripture, dude, like everything started falling into place. And little miracles happen every day, like these crazy little miracles that you just notice and you're like, oh man, that right there is impossible. But it just happened and it was small, you know what I mean? But you notice it and you can see it. Once you start growing in the spirit, you can notice these things. And there's so many throughout the day. There's so many, dude, and it's crazy. And it's just amazing, dude. It's just an amazing testimony to what God can do. And he's doing these big miracles too, I mean, he saved me from death, dude. He saved me from literal death. I got in a motorcycle wreck with no helmet on, with nothing at 60 miles an hour straight to concrete and walked out of the hospital 10 hours later with minimal, scratches. And God. The doctors were like, you were 200 feet from your bike. You skipped across the ground 200 feet going 60 miles an hour. You didn't have a helmet on. You should be dead, son. And my head hit the ground, which is crazy. I have a scar on the back of my head. I don't know if you can see it. You probably see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And skipped across the ground, dude. I remember like being like a rag doll, just
My
didn't
God.
even pass out, dude. Didn't even pass out. The Lord protected me. There's no other explanation, dude. I should be dead.
Yeah.
I should be dead, dude. 100%.
I probably would have died.
Nah, dude. The thing I've learned, dude, is that no matter what it is, if it's not your time, then you're not going to die. I
Yeah.
mean, 100%, and vice versa, the other way around. If it is your time, there's not a medicine or a cure or a doctor on earth that's going to save you. You're
Yeah.
going home. And my testimony to that is my uncle Carlos. He had cirrhosis of the liver so bad. This is just recently, right?
Mm.
That they were like, "Oh, he's done for. He's not going to last a week." And I had my church pray over a cloth. We call it a prayer cloth, just a handkerchief. We anoint with oil, and then everybody prays over it, right? And we just pray the healing power of Jesus into it. That's it. It's just a reminder. And whenever you give it to them, that Jesus is protecting them, and you have people praying for you. And so it's after about a few weeks, the doctors noticed that he was getting better. So they took him a little further down the list. He was second in line to get a liver. And so they put him a little further down the list. They keep going a few more weeks and he's doing better. So they put him now he's way down the list because his liver has literally regenerated itself. There was a black spot in the middle of his liver that they found that was cancerous, and it's gone. There's no trace of it.
Wow. I mean,
Isn't that
that's
crazy?
the definition of a miracle.
Of a miracle, dude, a miracle. And it's like, bro, it's Jesus. Like I prayed over him when he was super sick, and or my mother did, or my father did. One of them did, because I gave them the handkerchief to take, and I always tell whoever I give them to, do the sign of the cross on their head with the oil that's on the rag, so they're being anointed, and then you say, in Jesus' name, I pray the blood of Jesus over you so that you can be healed. In Jesus' awesome name, amen. Simple prayer, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
every single one of the people I've given one to, it's always cancer or something, or they were real sick, had something bad, and they're all doing good. Every one of them is either in remission or completely cured of cancer. And it's nuts. I've literally like 3 or 4 people that I've given it to, and it's all Jesus, dude. 100%. Jesus is not out the business of healing,
Yeah.
So anyways, back to what we were originally talking about, cleanliness. I'm living a clean life, dog. And it's all because of Jesus. I'm telling you, look around my house and everything is always neat, dude, because I'm a freak,
Yeah,
I'm a
you're
neat
sober,
freak.
you can see it now.
Dude, I mean, I see everything. Like, I look at the floors and I'm like, I gotta vacuum. And I do. The difference is I do it instead of waiting forever.
Yeah.
I'm probably the only bachelor in spring with no dirt on his floor, clean counters, a made bed, and no dishes in the sink.
Speaking of Bachelor, okay, let's talk about your Facebook fame you just got. All right, that's kind of like a phenomenon that me and you, we just don't understand. But we love it, but we just don't understand it.
I don't know, dude. All I know is that like they had started getting a little more. Like I was getting like 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 friend requests, but then like for this span of like 2-3 months, it was right after I put my status to single. Right when after right when I changed it from separated to single, it was like I was getting like 150, 200 a day, dude, from just random people. And now I'm weeding out the bad ones because every now and then I'll get a message from some chick that's like doing porn or something, and I'll have to block her like immediately, And so I'm weeding out the bad ones, but yeah, it was crazy. I don't know. I have no idea. Facebook is like, let's use this guy. I hit an algorithm or something. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah,
But
that's crazy, and
but
that's
I mean, I'm pushing the music too, and I'm doing a lot of these Facebook lives, where I'm praying over people and giving a positive note, and sometimes I'm just talking to 90. I don't ever, like write down what I'm going to say on these. I go off the rip every time. I
yeah,
go off the dome every single time, and I just spit scripture, dude, and I tell people, about different things. Last time I did it, it was about not getting upset when you have a different opinion from somebody. You know what I mean?
that's important.
Different political opinions. hold on. And you know, I was just talking about that and spitting some Bible verse, and I was like, it doesn't matter, because I was talking about flat earthers and round earth. I was like, look, first of all, it doesn't. Who cares? You know, like if Earth is flat, whatever. I mean, I don't believe that, but if it is, okay. So we live on a flat Earth. Whoop-de-doo. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still living. I'm still loving God. I still see health in my children. I don't care. That's not something I need to worry about. That's not that information does not benefit me in any way. What benefits me is knowing that I'm good. The Lord's got me. What benefits me is being a good father to my kids. You know, what benefits me is doing what's right, dude. And that's it. You know, got to do it. And that's why I've been living cleaner, dude. I've been living a lot cleaner because of it. And I'm just trying to grow spiritually, mentally, emotionally.
What? So your Facebook videos, you post the live videos, they'll get like 500 views like in one day.
I don't know, not those. No, I got 500 likes on just a photo, you know, of me and my son. And I was like, that's crazy. I've never gotten that many. And for some people, they're like, that ain't nothing, dude. Like, I get 3,000 each time. Yeah, well, I've never gotten this. So 500 is like, whoa, that's a lot, you know?
You need to start your own what was that show that Jada Pinkett Smith did on Facebook original?
Wait, say that again?
The Jada Pinkett Smith or whatever how you pronounce it. She did, it's the Red Table. Whatever. They're basically doing lives of like their family talk. It's Will Smith's family.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I didn't never watch it, dude. I figured what it was, and I thought, you know, my cousin had posted something and was like, "Do you see the pain in that man's eyes?" You know, this and that. And I was like, you know, he's like, he's going through pain, blah blah blah. And I was like, that's true though, you know, and that's messed up to you know, to capitalize off that. Like, let them deal with their own stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I thought that was crazy. That's nuts. The world we're living in these days, dude. Sorry, I had to get a charger.
No, you're
Look,
good.
see that? Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. My clean bed. You see that? My made bed.
Okay, here's a question. What drives you to do music? Because you have all these things like godly stuff, getting sober, going through that battle.
Well, and that's another thing. You know, the music I've done in the past has never been clean. I've always done I've always done vulgarity. You know what I mean? I've always been that way. I mean, I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't the same man I am today. And you know, with the change comes a change in the music. You know, naturally, with the change in who I am, my music is going to change along with it. And I don't know 100%. You know, exactly what I want out of it. I don't really care about being in the top 10 or something like that. You know what I mean? I care about getting out a message. I care about people getting something out of what my music. I don't care if they can dance to it in a club. I don't even go to clubs. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean? I don't care about that. I want it to connect with them, and however, you know, whatever way that is, maybe in a club, I can do some club bangers about Christ. I promise you. You know what I mean? But like I said, you know, I'm trying to change it along with because I can't change myself and keep my music the same as I was. You know what I mean? If I'm not cussing in real life, should I be cussing in my music? I don't think so. You know, if I'm spitting Christ in real life, I should be spitting it in my music too. So, you know, things are definitely are changing for me, dude, and the things are going to change a lot more. And like, I don't know, it's crazy, dude. It's amazing because I feel better about it. You know what I mean? I feel better about not cussing in my music. You know?
Yeah. Do you think that your Holy Spirit, or whatever you want to call it, your faith in God is driving you to do music, that spiritual side of you? or do you think it's
Well, I can tell you, I mean, you can be you know, you were there. I mean, I didn't do anything at all, really, you know what I mean? Unless you came over to my house, you know what I mean, before. And
which
you
is
know what I
crazy.
mean?
Let me talk about this for a second, which is crazy because you and I don't write at all alike, right?
No.
I
Yeah.
come over and I literally just throw lines at you and you're like, okay, I got it. And then it's nothing to do with what I said. So I'm just like,
Because you know why?
why
I
am
think
I
it's
here?
with my ADD mind, it's like I'll get off track, and when you spit something out there, it'll make me think about some. It'll you know, it'll build into something totally different in my mind,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? Like if you were like, okay, monkeys, and I'm like, oh well, monkeys like bananas. Well, bananas are yellow. Well, taxi cabs are yellow too. Taxi cabs drive in the city. I'm from H-Town. You know what I mean? And it's hard up there, dude. You know, sometimes, but you know,
Oh my
no,
God.
just you know, I don't know. I just like honestly, it keeps me accountable, and that's why I like meeting in person, doing things in person. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, I think it's always better to write with someone else, even if y'all are writing to do two different things. Like just to get a second opinion as you're writing it, so it doesn't.
exactly, like, hey, what do you think about this line? What do you think about this verse? Let me like
Yeah.
when we're writing, I'll be like, let me hear yours or whatever, and you're like, I already got it written. I'm like, dude. You know, and then I'll be writing, and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. What about this? You know, oh yeah." And then I go off it. You know, you can bounce off of each other. Two heads is better than one, dude.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Always.
So what the music that we have coming up, is what do you think about our music together coming up?
What do you mean?
Like, I just your take on it. Like, do you think it's gonna
The stuff
go
that we've
well?
been
Do you
doing.
think it,
The stuff that we've been doing.
yeah, like that's not released yet.
I mean, you know, I'm still in the process of all this. This is. Let me tell you something. Like I said, most of that stuff I wrote back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it's like if I don't put it out there, people aren't going to see who I was. You know what I mean?
yeah,
They're not
and
going to
I
see,
appreciate that.
you know what I mean? And I even write sometime. I notice that, you know, because look, I still cuss. I'm not saying I'm perfect, you know, and
Yeah,
obviously I've cussed like 3 times since we've been, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
the sanctification process is a grueling process, and I love it. And it's just you'll see my music will reflect the growth, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And but at the same time, I mean, going from vitamin D to just a dream
That's so terrible
is
because
going from vitamin D to just a dream is like a complete 180, dude.
that's it's such a vulgar song, but it was so like I feel like that's one of the best
But
hooks
you know
I
what's
ever did.
crazy is it was all about sex, right? And
Yeah.
sex was one of my most the hardest things for me to get over, like the
Mhm.
addiction, the sexual addiction, dude.
Yeah.
Because I love women, you know. So it's like I loved my wife, you know, and I love to have sex,
Yeah.
especially when I was on drugs, you know. And it's like I have to get away from all of that, you know. I can't be stuck in sexual sin. I can't be stuck in different, you know, in cursing or using the Lord's name in vain. You know what I mean? I can't be doing that. I can't be the old me. But unless they hear when they hear those songs, then they'll get a, you know, they'll get an insight into what I was going through and who I was. You know, I wasn't a respectful person back then, dude. So you know,
Well, okay, so
it'll.
on top of that, I feel like our collaborations were so much worse because when you were on drugs, right?
Mhm.
You still wanted to do positive music. I don't do positive. I I do it more now, but
Yeah, yeah.
I don't usually when I go into the studio, it's like therapy for me. Like
Yeah, for
that's
sure. But you have to you just said it right there though, dude.
yeah.
You just said my music, I mean, I do more now. Yeah, you do more now because you're growing and getting happier and shit. You know, excuse my language. You're getting happier. You have a family. You have a little boy that makes you giggle like a dork. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I know. I got two sons and a daughter, man. I got 3 kids. It's like, I know what it is, you know. I'm happy. I'm a happy dad too. I get goofy, you know. So it's like,
Yeah.
yours will too, and that's the thing about it is like, trust me, I see your growth just like I see my own. So from where you come from to where you are, you know, and that's what I love about it is, you know, we stick by each other's side. That's what brothers in Christ do. They stick by each other's sides through the BS.
But what I liked was getting goofy on tracks with you, and like with Vitamin D, it was just kind of like a funny thing to talk about.
It was funny. I mean, I still laugh. I mean, don't get me wrong. I laugh at it when I hear it, you know. I'm not perfect, but you know, I probably won't ever rap that on a live you know, on a live situation. You know what I mean?
I couldn't, especially like if someone I knew personally was there. I'd be like,
but that's the thing, like you can't even do that now because and before you were thinking, oh, this is we're gonna perform this live for sure. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you would even in the performance back in October, you were like, yeah, do Vitamin D. I was like, nah. Remember? I was like, no way, dude. I can't do it. The Lord told me not to do it. Actually, at first I was like, okay, I guess I can. And then I talked to the Lord, and I remember I was like, look, I can't do Vitamin D, dog.
You know? Yeah, I didn't even try to press it once you said that. Once you said the Lord told me not to, I was like, okay. Even though I was starving for content to put on our live show, I was like, that's out of the question now. I trust God talking to you more than my own instincts.
Oh, dude, the Lord talks straight to me. That's why.
But I mean, what I was originally saying is that our collabs are probably were the worst as far as both of our vulgarity. And then when my album came out, it was more like talking about the therapeutic stuff I wanted to, and like Devil's Advocate, which was more of a spiritual song, just from like that perspective of being on the wrong side of it. So, and I feel like we still do those things that are more meaningful now. And I'd like to do more songs with you that are more positive, but that chance hasn't come across us yet. Like I want to do a song with no curse.
Well, I mean, you know, it's like those beats we listened to the other day when you were over here. You know what I mean? And you were like, and we just popped on them. You know, like it was nothing. Started singing to the hook. You know, like it was nothing, and it'll come. You know what I mean? It's just as natural as anything else, dude. You just have to, you know, take the time to do it. And my thing is, that's why I want you to write with me, because I put a positive attitude in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you come to my house or when I'm around, the Lord's with me at all times. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you're going to be a happy dude when you're talking to me. You know what I mean? You're going to chill. All right. We're going to do this. And, you know, I mean, you got to get in the right headspace, dog.
Yeah, I get that, but that's so hard for me to write, because I only ever write when there's a problem. Like the last 2 positive songs that I wrote were like they
you
were like
just write.
They were like,
don't just write when there's a problem, because the problem with that is that when you start having no problems, then you're gonna start having no content.
Well, I don't think I'll ever run out of problems, Harvey.
Well, you got to understand, though, I have 99 problems, but I don't care about one, because I take care of all of them now.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? When you get to this when you change, you know, and before I didn't take care of my business. I didn't take care of the feelings of the mothers of my children. I didn't take care of the feelings of my parents. I didn't care about none of that, you know. But now I do, and it's like, if I have a problem, I get through it, and I don't look at it as a problem. I look at it as a challenge to overcome. And so far, I've overcome everything. I mean, through Jesus, dog, anything's possible. You know, all things are, through him, all things are possible. So,
I mean, I've written happy songs, but it just, I don't know. It's like I don't know. I can't write it like.
it's hard for me because I talk so positive now. It's hard for me to even put a problem on paper because it's like I ain't trying to even put it out in the world. I don't even care. I don't even give it. I don't give it my attention. I don't give Satan and his demons my attention anymore. I want to talk about good. I want to talk about good stuff. You know what I mean?
I think that's just our styles are how they're different.
Yeah.
I'm like more gothic.
I mean, even the last one,
like happy day,
the hook, like for instance, the last one we were talking, it's been a long road full of sorrows. You know what I mean? Like the rest of the song, the hook is gonna talk about overcoming. You know what I mean? And so is the whole song. Just because you write one thing and it sounds like it's going to be, you can go into negativity with that. No, that whole song is going to be a positive song. You know what I mean? But it sounds like it's something that could be sad. But anything you can, dude, I'm telling you, once you get on a more positive note and once you start moving towards the Lord, positivity ain't hard to do. And you're already doing it. You know what I mean? You're already doing it in your music. You can see it. You can see the drastic change. Trust me. In just a short time, you can see, because in that short time, you got married, you had a kid, and your life got filled with joyous things. And that's why now you're spitting more joy when you're by yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the struggle that I go through, man, trying to figure out how to get these more positive songs out. So I mean, that's the
but the thing is though, Doug, it's not to discount what you can do, because you're amazing on the mic. You got wordplay, you got you're the low, what was the last one we just worked on? All I wanna do, you just have that deep, that's that deep softness, dog, and it's awesome. And you can do so much with your sound, dude.
Yeah.
And you can see it growing, and you can see it evolving. You know what I mean?
I really like that song. That dude, when you come in on that song, that blew me away. That was like I don't want to get too like big headed about it between us, but like I got Michael Jackson vibes. And it was
the last song I did with
sound, but it was like the same intensity. Like it was like you gave it your all, and I was like, oh man, I definitely got to redo half of this verse.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, I cussed in that verse, and that was something that, because that was something that I was angry about when I wrote it. You know what I mean? And I mean, and maybe not angry about, but I was definitely.
That was like one of your therapeutic songs.
Well, like, exactly. But the thing is like, even though I cussed in it, I was listening to it and I was like, it's so good. It doesn't discount it, but it just can't be shown on certain platforms. You know what I mean? And it's like, because of that. And that's another reason,
But at the same time, that it's
like,
like
there was only 2 cuss words, so all the rest was good.
I think I counted more, but all right. It was like, but the thing is like that's one of those songs where it's like you're in a bad situation.
Oh yeah.
You're not it's just like a feeling, a sensation. It's just putting emphasis on 100%. That. Like this hurt.
No, and I understand that. I mean, these days, dude, fuck is just another word, but sorry about that. You're gonna have to beep that. He's like, you can't beep live, right? But I'm sorry, Lord. Yeah. you know, it is what it is, dude. Sometimes I cuss. Like I said, I'm not perfect, and I'm still in this process of sanctification, dog. And it's an everlasting process until the day I die. You know, it's never something I stop doing. It'll could be constant growth. You know what I mean? But I love the sound of that song, and I
Yeah.
think if we can get that sound, uh, you know, on a more
Baby friendly.
baby friendly, you know, and more driven and more positive, you know, I think that we could definitely do something with it, you know.
I got so many ideas for a music video for that song, but I'm not going to get into it right now because I don't want to spoil the idea that I have.
Did you write it down?
It's written down. Half of it's written down. Half of it's in my head.
Write the whole thing down, dude.
Easy. Okay, that's nice coming from you. You need to find your verses, okay, so we can go record.
Bro, I do so. Find my verses. I found them all. We just haven't gotten. We keep doing. I found all of them. We keep going and doing new stuff instead of doing the stuff that we already have. And it's funny too because like now I'm gonna go back and reread them, and I'm gonna be like Relentless, for instance. I was already thinking in my head, I can keep the hook the same.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to change the. I'm gonna have to do the verse and switch some stuff up. You know what I mean? To throw out them curse words because I said some some stuff in there, and that's a good song, and I don't want to, you know, it needs to reflect who I am, not who I was on that one because I love that.
I think Relentless is a good way to show the masses or the
I mean, the first line is, "Got my family on my mind till you know." Something till I realized the reason for Jesus' life. You know what I mean? So I mean, it starts off about Jesus. So it's like,
and it goes downhill from there.
Yeah.
That's a good one to keep playing that thing.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, like the fourth bar is about Jesus in that one. So that's good. But then later down the line, I talk about penis. So, but it's in, you know, I'm cussing at. So I was like telling him, you know, and I got to take that out. You know, I can't have that anymore because I don't say. I try not to talk about the C words anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So y'all at home listening on YouTube or whatever, he actually told me to change a line, and I was like, no, I'm not changing my lines just because it would appeal to more people, whatever.
And I was like, it won't work that way. And I was like, but it'll work this way. And I said it, and you were like,
yeah, I found a line that would work, and I was like, damn, okay, I'll change it. So I guess me being around Harvey is good for me too.
Yeah. I remember we were on the phone brainstorming, changing the line. And I was like, what about this? And you're like, what about this? And I'm like, well, what about this? And then it just kind of like boom, 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 until it was like, oh, he was like, damn, you're right. I can do that.
Yeah, you can. I said, so hard-headed about my lyrics.
And I was like, you can do that, and it still sounds good. You don't have to say, what was the word that we took out?
It was erections.
Erections, yeah. What did we turn it to?
Perfection.
Yeah, we changed the whole line. That's right.
Yeah.
You were like, we gotta have. That was pretty good. Erection, perfection.
So
what a flop, though. That's like a whole 180, dude. From hard penis to to being perfect like Jesus, right?
Okay, I think we're gonna wrap this up, and because that's a good note to end on, the erections. So how are you telling me to end them, Harvey? What did you like a talk show host?
Well, not like but do it like I say it because I was a salesman. Like, hi, welcome to Exclusive Furniture. You know, how can I help you? And now it's like when I go, and now it's like I answer the phone, CRH Pro Services, how can I help you? You know what I mean? All dorky, you know. So do it like that, like a radio.
Okay.
Professional. Professional.
Thank you for tuning in. This is the MC Cashe Wrap Up the Month show that we do at the end of the month. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, whatever you're feeling, and we'll see you next month. So we out.
Don't forget to share.
Oh, did I say share? Maybe.
No, you didn't. You said like, comment.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see in the playback.
Share. Like, comment, share.
Okay, guys, I'm getting better at these outros. Thank you, Harvey.
Write it down. Don't be a fool.
Don't be a fool.